All right. Well, I finally have seen all the Halloween movies. Finally. I saw Halloween 2018 in the theater when it was new, fresh. And I wanted to hopefully do the same for the rest, but unfortunately I didn't get to. I seen Sonic 1 in the theaters, missed out on Sonic 2, had to see it on a streaming service when I had a roommate using his account. I seen Sonic 3 in theaters, not when it was fresh out, like a few months after, but still I seen it. So, eh, whenever I intend on doing stuff, it doesn't always work out. Life sucks. But that's neither here nor there. I've seen the whole new trilogy now, and I try to avoid spoilers as much as I could for Halloween Ends because I wanted to wait and see it. But before I seen it, I seen a video by crap, I can't remember his name, but it was a horror movies I could survive video. A few different YouTubers make those kind of videos. I think Degenerosity is the one that started the trend. I could be wrong. But I seen a video where he says he could beat Michael based on Halloween Ends, and I was like, shit. I'm about to get a spoiler. Luckily, he didn't spoil it too much. Not really. He just said Lloyd beat Michael's ass, which I already expected. That's kind of the... Yeah, that's not really a spoiler. We knew that was going to happen. But apparently he said he's dead. I'm like, no way, he's not dead. He can't. It's Michael Myers. He literally can't die. So I thought, okay, maybe he doesn't mean, I don't know. But I was like, I gotta see this movie. Then Real Rejects, a new channel I started watching recently, who react to movies. Shout out to them. Shout out to Roxy and Tara, forgot her name for a second. I'm an idiot. Shout out to them. The horror whores, the she-jects. I guess I'm a she-ject. Although I'm not a she, I'm a guy. But I don't know if that means I'm not allowed to be one. I'm not sure if she-ject means you got to be a she, or if she-ject is just what you call yourself when you're a fan of those two. I haven't been watching them long enough. I've seen all their Jason and Freddy, and I just finished all their Michael videos, which is why I was in such a hurry to see Halloween Ends, because I wanted to see it before they reacted to it. So I finally seen it. It wasn't on Tubi, so I had to rush and find out where I could watch it for free, and I found a new place. I can't remember the name of the app right now, but I found a place where I could watch it for free. Not a pirating site. This was a legit source. You could either buy it, rent it, or watch it free with ads. So I did. And not only did I accidentally get a small, maybe a tidbit of a spoiler from that video, but I've heard people say things about this movie, and I've heard mixed opinions. I've heard some people say they liked it, some said they hated it, and some were like indifferent. Some people say Halloween 2018 was good, but the trilogy fell off. Some people didn't like Halloween Kills. They thought, I don't know what the deal is with Halloween Kills. I've only ever seen the movie once. Maybe they thought it was too silly. I don't know. But people were saying they didn't like this movie either. Some people. And I was like, well, I can't make a judgment till I see it. And I finally seen it. And I just had to make this video. I was watching a August the Duck video, but I couldn't focus on it because I just had to stop so I could record this video. So here I am. What do I think of the movie? Well, as a movie, it's a damn good movie. I was really invested in the characters, all of them. And I was really intrigued the story to see how it would go. I was a little upset at the beginning when the first kill of the movie wasn't from Michael, it was from Corey. Oh, I forgot to mention spoilers. But when the opening of the movie made me think, what the hell? Why is it not Michael? Also, why is the text blue and not orange? And why does it not look like the typical Halloween font? But the opening with all the different pumpkins splitting, that was pretty cool. But I'm not going to go through the whole movie bit by bit. We'll be here for a long time. But after the opening and Laurie gave her little monologue while she's writing her book, saying that the town went to shit afterwards, now I get why they had that opening. They wanted us to see one example of the town being fucked. Accidentally, killing each other or killing themselves and blaming every miscellaneous murder on Michael. Because the town's just panicked because he just vanished mysteriously. My question is, if the whole goal of Michael is to just get back to his house, that was it in Resurrection. When he was done with his work, back straight to the house. And in the 2018 timeline, he didn't really care about Laurie. He didn't have a connection with her like everyone thought. He just wanted to go back to his house. And he killed Laurie's daughter because she was in his room, in his house. So he's like, get out of my house, stab. So why the hell... I mean, I guess I know why, because if he stayed in the house, they would immediately catch him. So he had to dip out. But, why didn't he go back to the house after the heat died down? Or does he know his house is forever a no-go because they're always going to keep an eye on it to wait for him to come back, catch him? Well, regardless, he's in the sewers now, which is kind of like Halloween, Resurrection. Except he's not in the sewers directly underneath his house. He's underneath a random bridge, which is why? I thought maybe he would enter through the sewers from that bridge, but he would still be staying at least in the vicinity of his house, because that's all he cares about. If he can even care. But no, he's just in that sewer. And according to the homeless guy, who for some reason Michael didn't kill all this time, Michael occasionally takes people in there. Kills them. So he isn't just completely... He hasn't been completely stopped since the last movie. He's been killing off and on. It seems like he's been slowing down. This movie, before I get deeper, this movie is seeming to imply that Michael is kind of slowing down after the end of the last movie. He's been killing a little less, and when we do see him kill, he's a little sloppy. He had to have Corey help him. Are they implying Michael's old? He's getting too old for this, but... This is where I mean, the movie itself is a good movie. It's written well, and I like it, but it's I feel like the way they did Michael isn't really Michael. I mean, it's Michael Michael is supposed to be immortal. He's an unstoppable killer. It's one of those types of people. So he can survive getting burned, shot, stabbed, all this and that, and just keep going. But old age gets him? Maybe old age would slow him down a little, but actually make him where he could, not... are they trying to imply that Michael would have eventually died of old age if they didn't kill him at the end of the movie? Is that what they were trying to imply here? Because that's not Michael. At the end of the last movie, they tried to beat him to death and made us think, oh yeah, he's gone. But then he gets up and kills everyone, and they had that monologue by Laurie at the hospital to further establish, no, Michael's not human. He is literally the embodiment of evil itself. You can't kill it. But then in this movie, he's apparently able to become weak with age, and then he does die at the end. Spoilers. Which I don't like. That's not Michael. It's not Michael to be like that. But... whatever. So Michael, back to Corey. After he accidentally killed that kid, the town kind of turned on him. And the whole movie, they were picking on him, calling him a monster, and it's I felt bad for Corey. Just leave him alone. It was an accident. He feels guilt. He doesn't like that he did it. He has PTSD. He's not a monster. Not at the beginning of the movie. It's the town's fault. They pushed him. And I think he could have been saved. He could have been helped, but no, wasted potential. Either I would have loved to see him, I don't want the series to switch over to him, like how they keep trying to do with Jason and Michael. They try to switch it to Jamie, and they try to switch it to Tommy. And people didn't want that. They just wanted Michael and Jason. So I don't want it to switch to him to be the killer now. I want it to stay Michael. But I did want to either see him recover and fight back against turning into the monster and maybe, resist, or have him be a killer and just go kill. I didn't want to see him die at the end. He kills himself. Well, he tries to, but turns out he wasn't dead yet, and then Michael killed him. And I was like, you got me attached to the character, and I wanted to see him either somehow bounce back from this, like we see Tommy do in the Jason movies, and become a good guy again, or just see where he goes as a killer, because he's a pretty damn good killer. Like, I wish he stuck with the whole scarecrow mask instead of trying to be a little Michael. Wish he would have been his own thing. I could see a horror movie slasher flick with him as maybe a spin-off series could have worked, but oh well. It is what it is. This movie established they're setting up this symbolic thing of everyone has evil inside them, which is there's good and evil in everyone, which is a message I believe in and I've heard before in many other movies and shows. So Michael is just pure evil. He is some kind of anomaly that was born with no good in him at all. He was just a complete evil, while everyone else has good and evil, and it's a constant balance. And some people lose to evil, and Corey was clearly losing. Laurie was trying to help him, but either he rejected her help and just let himself become evil, or she tried to help too late. What he did wasn't right. He's like, speaking if this was a real life scenario, don't kill people. I get why you became the killer, but that doesn't make it right. You shouldn't have, become a killer. But I'm still saying it's the town's fault. Everyone who pushed you, the blood's on their hands too. Put the blame where the blame is due. But, yeah, whatever. It is what it is. I kind of liked what they were doing with him, but I can also see why some people wouldn't like the movie because it was mostly on him. People don't like it when you switch it up. People didn't like Friday the 13th Part 5 because Jason wasn't the killer. It was a copycat. And then they tried to set up for Tommy to be the new killer. People just wanted Jason back. And in Halloween 4, when Jamie tried to kill her stepmom or adopted mom at the end, people didn't like that. So they brought Michael back. So I kind of get where people were coming from with this. The fact that Michael was in there. He did a few of the kills, but it was mostly Corey. Corey was the guy. And I was kind of confused on if Corey and Michael were implied to be working together, or if Corey just thought they were working together and Michael just happened to be killing alongside him. I was waiting for a moment in the movie where Michael just tried to kill him, because Michael is like that. He doesn't work with people. And don't give me Halloween 6. Everyone hated Halloween 6 because it's not like Michael Myers to be a puppet to some cult, which is why in the theatrical cut he turns on his cult members, because that's more like Michael. He wouldn't be just a puppet controlled by someone else. He does his own thing. But the fact that he was going with this cult for so long and just killed them out of the blue for seemingly no reason is still a little weird, but whatever. Theatrical cut, producer's cut, both versions suck. It's pick your poison. A lot of people like the producer's cut better, but I think the theatrical cut is better. But they're both shit. So that's neither here nor there. I got out on a side tangent. The point is, I was waiting for a point where he would turn on Corey, because Michael doesn't work. Michael doesn't have the... But it didn't happen. Instead, Corey turned on him, beat him down, and took his mask, which is like... That's when I started to realize what they were, doing with Michael. First, he was being all kind of wobbly when Corey was helping him kill the ex-boyfriend cop. That guy had it coming. I will say that guy had it coming. He was a dick. But Michael was all wobbly. He fell down. Corey was like, "Get up, help me. Show me how to be a killer like you." So he helps him and holds the cop down and lets Michael stab him a few times. Michael's all wobbly and old, but I was, ignoring that. But when Corey beat him down and took his mask so easily, that's when I realized, yep, they're going this route with Michael. They're going with the he's too old. He's able to be defeated easily because he's old, which is like not great way to do Michael. It's disrespectful to the character. But it is what it is. I was expecting Michael to eventually come back and get his mask back from Corey, but I mean, it happens. It just didn't happen the way I thought it would. So after he tries to kill Laurie, and Laurie shoots him a few times, he's like, if I can't have her, then no one can. And then he stabs himself in the neck, which is not usually what that phrase means when people say that. Usually they try to kill the person that they say that about, not themselves, but whatever. He ends himself. So, well, he wasn't. He was dying. He was going to die, but he didn't. He was laying there dead. But whatever. He kills himself. The granddaughter, can't remember her name right now, comes in. Thinks Laurie did it for obvious reasons. She was holding the knife when she came in. That was just a bad timing, bad look. But when Michael came back, grabbed his mask, and tried to grab the knife, he popped up and grabbed Michael. And then Michael killed him. Like, actually for real killed him. Although the knife wound to the neck was going to kill him already. He just wasn't dead yet. So regardless of if Michael did it or his own neck wound that he inflicted on himself got to him first, regardless, he was going to die. Which, that is, get me attached to the character and get me intrigued on where he's going to go. I was, even though he killed a whole bunch of people, I was still hoping maybe he could like fight back and become good again. But no, instead of either having him become a killer and go off and be killing, or having him be good again, he just kill him. And that ticked me off a little, but it is what it is. At least we finally got Michael back, and he was doing Michael things. But Laurie just fucking takes him out. She fights him so good, and it's like, oh. But hold on. Back when he first got beat down by Corey, and Corey took his mask, he was like almost powerless. But now that he was getting his mask back and his knife back, he was able to break Corey's neck. And then again, Corey was on the ground and already dying. He'd been shot 4 times and then stabbed himself in the neck. Maybe that's why. But the way Michael grabbed him and forcefully twisted his neck felt like that was just, he didn't seem like an old man in that instance. Felt like they were being true to Michael's character again. But then the very next scene when he's fighting Laurie, they go back to he's an old man again. And he gets fucking defeated. Laurie fucking pins him and then takes his mask off, slits his throat. And then after Michael grabs her neck, it's like, if I'm going down, I'll take you with me. The granddaughter comes back in and fucking helps Laurie escape, and then they slit his wrist just to make sure he's dead, which the whole time when she first slit his throat, and then after they slit his wrist, and the whole time he was there on the counter in the kitchen, I was like, he's going to get up eventually. It's Michael Myers. He gets shot up. He gets burned. Sure, at the end of Halloween 2, he got burned and then he was in a coma for 10 years. But he eventually got up. So Michael would have gotten up, I believe. Unless they're completely ignoring that and just trying to go with because Laurie says, you're not a boogeyman, you're just a man. She had this whole speech, which is a good speech for the character and a very nice way to end off her story. She finally finishes her book and says she's, finally gotten rid of her boogeyman. But they imply that evil doesn't truly die, it just changes shape. So are they implying that Michael would come back, like reincarnation? That, I'm getting ahead. After they fucking slit his wrist and throat, they put him on top of the car and take him to the junkyard or whatever, and put him in a giant, basically it's a giant wood chipper, but it's not a wood chipper. it's a car crusher, so it's like a metal chipper. Essentially the same thing. It just crushes metal instead of wood, which if there's nothing for him to regenerate from, like if you disintegrate Michael or anyone who can just come back, if there's nothing left for them to come back from, that's it. Game Theory did a whole thing about that when they talked about how to beat Michael. His regeneration is what's really making him immortal. And even Death Battle says the reason why he had to do the body swap in H2O is because he can come back from a lot, but a beheading is something he couldn't come back from. So I'm not buying that he's dead with the throat slit and wrist cut. But after putting him through that wood chipper, or metal chipper, yeah, he's not coming back from that. But it still feels like disrespectful to actually permanently kill the character off. He's supposed to be unkillable. But at least they did it in a way that works. Like, in a way that you literally cannot come back from. If they just said he was dead from the throat slit, no. He would wake up in the morgue and then get out. Or, if they didn't have that happen, and he was actually dead, then they just did him dirty. They did his character wrong. But they didn't. They actually figured out a way to believably kill him off for good. Finally. They said evil dies tonight, the last movie, and it didn't. And now evil actually did die. Or as Laurie said, evil doesn't truly die. It just takes a new shape. So they were kind of implying something. I don't know what they were implying, but they were implying something. Possibly a new Michael Myers will be born somewhere in the world. We'll never know because Blumhouse lost the rights, so this timeline and this continuity is over. Give it a few years, there'll be another either complete reboot like what happened with Rob Zombie, or maybe another soft reboot that ignores something. However that's going to be. The actress that plays Laurie Strode, Jamie Lee Curtis, she's in her 60s. In about 20 years from now, she might not be here, and even if she is, she might not be able to do movies anymore. So this would be the last real like Halloween movies with her, and I feel like this H2O was a good way to end it, but then they had to ruin it with Resurrection. Here, even though I'm iffy about the movie Halloween Ends, I'm like mixed on it. I feel like this was a good way to finish off her character right. She finally got rid of Michael for reals, forever, permanently, and she can finally move on with her life. And she finally got closure. And now she's happy. I really hope she starts dating that cop dude. I really hope. They seem good together. But it's over. So, if this is the last movie we ever see her play Laurie in, it's fine by me. But question is, what's going to happen for the franchise from here? Is it going to be like another 10 years before we get another one? And it's going to be either a reboot, a soft reboot that ignores everything but the first one again, or maybe keeps like one of the other sequels, like Halloween 2 in the mix, or maybe one that, ignores kills and ends and takes place after 2018, but Laurie's not going to be in it because either the character in universe has finally moved on, or a character in universe has passed away. Either one. Or are we going to get another complete reboot, like the Rob Zombie movies that are separate? What are we going to get in the future? I don't know, but that's another side tangent. This video's gone on for almost half an hour. I could talk so much longer, but I'm just going to say I am mixed on the movie. I hated that it wasn't mostly Michael. Michael did get some kills in there. He wasn't completely out of the movie. He had his moments. And I actually was interested in seeing, hold on. Take this movie's plot about someone who accidentally killed someone and feels guilty about it, but then the town turns on him and pushes him into becoming the monster they say he is. That's a good plot. It should have been, maybe they should have made it its own movie instead of trying to fit it into the Halloween universe and push Michael Myers to the side. and, basically disrespect him in his own movie. Maybe then people actually may have liked this movie better. I don't know. Because I actually was liking the storyline with Corey, and I wish it didn't end with Corey dying. I wish either he would have bounced back and fought back against the evil within him, or, like I said, become a full killer and just go around and be a killer. Maybe get him a couple movies, whatever. Either one. I would have liked to see either side of the how that story could have progressed. But instead, he just dies. And then Michael shows up, barely in his own movie. It's not as bad as Jason Goes to Hell, but it is similar. How Michael is barely in this. It's a very. Why does this keep happening? First, they make Michael a little bigger, like Jason. Then they give him his mommy issues, and they give him rage. In part 5, they keep taking stuff from Jason and putting it on Michael, which is ironic because people say Jason is a ripoff of Michael, but it's like. And now they're taking the fact that Michael possibly, I don't know. Before I end the video, I wanted to say this a minute ago, but I got on a side tangent. When Corey first encountered Michael in the sewers, after Michael, for some reason, drugged Corey's unconscious body into there, but didn't do nothing with him, just drug him in there. Corey wakes up, stumbles around, tries to find a way out, and then Michael, in a crack in the wall, grabs him. And it seems like Michael's going to kill him. But they look into each other's eyes and something happens, and then all of a sudden he's able to break free from Michael. They were trying to imply something with that. Michael let him go because Michael seen that him and maybe they were working together. Maybe. Because Michael seen the evil in him and seen that he could make another him. But that's not like Michael. Michael doesn't do stuff like that. Michael doesn't have a motive. He doesn't have a goal. That was the whole point of rebooting and ignoring Halloween 2, to make Laurie not his sister no more. To establish that Michael doesn't do stuff for reasons. He has no reasons. He has no goals. He has no motives. He just does. So if they were implying Michael let him go so that he could become Michael's protege, I feel like that's not Mike. They defeated the whole purpose of 2018 by doing that. But I think maybe that's not what was happening here. Like that was probably a bait and switch. I think what was really happening, really the real reason why Michael let go, he didn't let go. He just got out of Michael's grip because they're setting Michael up to be an old man here. He's an old man who doesn't got what it takes no more. He doesn't have it in him no more. I think that's what it was. And what was with the crazy old guy, the crazy homeless guy outside? Why did Michael never kill him? And why does that guy say, he literally shows up to Corey after he gets out and says, he takes him in there every so often. They don't come back out. Why did he let you go? Go back in there and get that mask. I'm Michael Myers. So he's just a crazy old guy. And yeah, Corey kills him. His first intentional kill, but that one was self-defense. So I still think Corey had a chance to turn around. It was when he killed the douchebag ex-boyfriend cop, is when I think he was starting to be past the point of no return, because that's when he was asking Michael to show him how to be a killer like him. Maybe. Or maybe he could still turn around. Not saying the cop. The movie was, whenever horror movies set up jerky characters like this, they die because they're jerks. You want to see them die because you don't like the. So in terms of this movie, the cop deserved to die. If this was real life, yeah, he was a jerk, but he didn't deserve to die. He could have changed and become a better person. And there's people who are going to miss him. I don't want to mention current events, because that's not what my videos are about. No, I'm not going to mention current events. This is a very touchy subject. But in universe, from the perspective of a movie, the cop had it coming. if this was real life, yeah, he'd be past the point of no return. But in this movie, I think maybe he could have turned around. I think I think the point of no return was when out of those bullies that were picking on him and, roughing him up, the one person in the group, the one girl, didn't learn her name, the white girl, was the only one saying, hey, leave him alone and whatnot. She was the only one being nice to him. And he still killed her. I think that's when it was past the point of no return. Like, dude, that one was good to you. Why'd you kill her? I was really on edge whenever he was doing his thing and going after her. And I was like, no, don't kill her. No. He ran her down with the truck and pinned her underneath the fence. I was like, oh. But then I heard that she was alive under there. I was like, oh, thank God. Thank God she's alive. She can get out of there. But then, fucking steps on her head. Which is like, holy shit. Yeah. Then I was trying to question in my head if she had it coming or not. Because even though she was good to him, she didn't try to disassociate from her friend group because she saw they were bad. She still hung out with them. So it's like guilt by association. But is that really a good mentality to go off of? Or is it not? I don't know. That's a whole other can of worms that I don't want to get into. The point is, I didn't think she had that. She did not deserve to die. Why did he take the mask off? It wasn't his dad. It was like his stepdad and boss at work. Whatever it was, he took his mask off, and I thought that meant maybe he took the mask off for him because he wasn't going to kill him because he was good to him. And then the main bully accidentally shot him because he got in the way of, I'm just glad he didn't kill him. Like when in the Rob Zombie Halloween, when Michael killed the one the one guy that was good to him. That was so hard to watch, and I hated that because they were like friends, and I hated that. And I was worried that was going to happen here, where this guy who gave him the bike and was being a good father figure for him, I was worried he was going to kill him, but someone else killed him. And I'm going to say, this is my headcanon, the reason why he took the mask off when, his stepdad showed up is because he wasn't going to kill the stepdad. He was only wearing the mask for people he was going to kill. That's my take. Just because I don't want to believe he was about to kill the guy that was actually good to him. Then he went home and killed his mom, and she had it coming. She was... When we first see her in the dinner table scene, I thought, hey, your son's going through some shit. The whole town hates him over an accident. Be easier on him. Stop being such a B-word. Then when Laurie is talking to him, or Laurie is talking to her, she brings up the fact that the town has turned on him, so maybe she does feel some sympathy and feels bad about her son. But then she fucking slaps him when she doesn't want him to run away with Laurie's granddaughter, and then immediately, kisses him. And it's like, whoa, that's two different forms of abuse back to back. And that's I'm not sure how physical abuse, and then fucking the emotional incest with the kiss. Whoa. This woman's fucked up. And I wonder, when he came and killed her, did she know it was her son, or did she think it was Michael? Because he was dressed in Michael getup. So did she think it was... it doesn't matter. She's dead regardless. But I'm just curious. I assumed that she wouldn't think her own son did it. She probably thought it was Michael. Another thing here with this kid, something was up with him. Like, he was able to crush her head with his foot. He was able to grab him and slam the DJ guy's mouth and fuck him up. That's strong as hell. And then, even though he stabbed himself in the neck and got shot 4 times, he still was able to jump back up and grab Michael, only for Michael to break his neck. So I'm wondering, was he... What the whole idea of Michael making him a protege, was there something more to that with that? No, because then even if Michael broke his neck, he would have come back from that. So he wasn't truly like immortal, but he Does unlocking the evil in the Halloween universe, the evil within yourself, does unlocking it give you like strength? Or is it just horror movie logic of this thing that is almost impossible to do IRL because humans aren't that strong? Just ignore that for the sake of a good looking kill with gore. Because people, you curve stop someone's head, it's not going to bust like a fucking watermelon or a balloon. The skull is thick. It takes a crocodile to crush a skull. So, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I like this plot idea about someone trying to fight their inner evil and try to be good. I like this. I want to see this idea done in another movie and probably done better. I want to see it. Oh well. Maybe I could write a movie script based on this idea where someone, has to fight against their inner evils. I may do that actually. That may be a good idea. I may write that. I got to come up with a title. Something clever, something deep. The Monster Within. No. Internal struggles. No. There's got to be something there. I'll come up with something. But I like the idea. I like the idea of the story, the plot they were trying to tell with Corey. This is a Halloween movie. We're here for Michael. And also, they just toss Corey aside at the end. They kill him off. Damn it. Oh well, it is what it is. But this was truly the end. It was literally Halloween Ends. They fucking killed Michael and put him in a fucking wood chipper. I keep saying wood chipper, but that's not what it was. But it's essentially a giant wood chipper. And it's over. He's gone. He ain't coming back from that. Unless somehow his supernatural, unkillable, immortal boogeyman powers that make him bulletproof and fireproof also make his body just come back together. Just like... I'd love to see that, actually. But we don't see that, so it's probably not how that happens. I was expecting when they were taking him on the roof of the car somewhere, I thought they were going to burn him and, make sure there was nothing but ashes left. But the giant wood chipper works too, and it's pretty cool. I'm wondering though, at the end, when we see him go in there and like bust up, like his head crushed and bust. Did they study what really happens to human bodies when they go through those things in order to make this movie make that look? Or did they just guess? Like, does the human skull really just pop like that when it's getting put through a giant machine like that? Or did they just do that because it looked cool and there's no basis in reality? And if they did study what it really looks like for people to go through that, how? How did we figure out that? I mean, I guess accidents happen, but like, is there footage? Did they look at footage and try to recreate it for the movie? And if so, that is fucked. Someone was probably traumatized and may have become a psychopath just from looking at that stuff, if that's the case. Or did they just read about it and not looked at any videos or footage and just read the details? Or like I said, did they just make it up? I don't know. Regardless, Halloween Ends. As a Halloween movie, I like it that it gave Laurie Strode a definitive end for her character arc and finally gave her a satisfying ending. I don't like the fact that Michael was barely here. I don't like the fact that they made Michael an old man and actually permanently killed him off. They just killed him like he was a normal guy. Even though in the last movie, we show him getting up after getting beat, and Laurie said every time he kills, he gets stronger, and he's a force of nature. But then in this movie, she says, "You're just a man," even though the whole fucking franchise establishes he's not. So he's barely here, and when he is here, they kind of do him a little dirty. I like the Corey plot. I just wish it was its own movie and not in a Halloween movie. I don't know, man. I guess this movie, as a movie, it's a good movie. As a Halloween movie, I give it a 5 out of 10. Although rating something out of something is kind of arbitrary, which is why a lot of reviewers stopped doing it. Some movie reviewers I've watched have stopped rating them, and some call me Johnny, stopped giving games a number at some point because it's just like, it's kind of pointless. But I'm just gonna say, overall, Halloween Ends. I liked Halloween Kills a little better, even though I've only seen Halloween Kills once. I'm gonna say, yeah, that's my final score. As a Halloween movie, Halloween Ends gets a 5 out of 10. As a movie, like as a movie on its own, not looking at it as a Halloween movie, but just as a movie, maybe an 8 out of 10. There were some parts I feel like could have been done better. Like Laurie offering to help him, like, "I could help you," but then she immediately says, "Stay away from my daughter," blah, blah, blah. That was such a quick heel turn. No wonder he snapped at her. Maybe you could have approached that a little better. Like, "Hey, I know you're going through some shit right now. Let me help you before you decide to be with my granddaughter. Because the way you are right now, it's not good. And I want to help you." We could have approached it a bit better. Maybe things would have gone differently. I don't know. So that's one thing that could have been done differently. So yeah, that's my thoughts. My review of Halloween Ends. Was it a good way to end Halloween? Like the whole franchise, if this is the end? I don't think the whole just like the characters themselves, the franchises will never die. They'll just go into hiatus for a while. But this is definitely going to be the last one with Jamie Lee Curtis. So, just like when we lost Donald Pleasence, another iconic figure of the Halloween franchise is going to go. Because by the time they do decide to make another movie, who knows what's going to happen to Jamie Lee Curtis. So, it may not be the end of the whole franchise, but it's the end of Halloween as we know it. The next one won't have Jamie in it and whatnot. The only recognizable character we'll see is Michael. Unless they do a complete reboot and have a new Loomis and a new Laurie actor and actress. Or no, they're both just called actors now. Whatever the politically correct term is nowadays. It keeps changing. That's neither here nor there. The actors, if they do a complete reboot with new actors, like, we'll get the characters back, but it's not the same. No one else will ever be a great Loomis. Donald Pleasence was Loomis. He was Loomis. The Rob Zombie Loomis just wasn't it. And maybe we could find someone who could be a new good Laurie. Maybe. But they'll never be the same as Jamie Lee. Oh well. It is what it is. And final thoughts, final closing note before I end the video. I wish Friday the 13th got to 13 movies first. I wish. And I hope the next movie actually has the right mask and not this new Jason Universe mask in it. Please. They're working on a 13th movie. For the love of God, please have the correct mask. I mean, if it doesn't, I'll just bite the bullet and be happy that we get another movie finally. It'll be a little pet peeve of mine that they got the wrong fucking mask. If it happens, but fingers crossed. Fingers crossed that we get the correct mask. Fingers crossed. All right. See you guys next time. Peace.